Welcome to another podcast session with me, Klaus Kääriäinen. Today we are gonna talk about a topic of deadlines. So what are deadlines and why should you create some kind of a deadlines for yourself? First of all, deadlines are some kind of a timeline of thing or things which you are doing, which needs to be done in a set date. Those can be like multiple things which need to be done, or a single thing, or whatsoever, depending on your planning style. But at the end, you have a date, you have a stuff which needs to be done. This is like very, very familiar stuff for people who have been working in some kind of industries or whatsoever. There's always someone setting you the deadlines. You come to work, you know what needs to be done today. Before you leave the work, this stuff needs to be done. Or in some cases, you will have maybe weeks or days or hours or stuff like that to complete the assigned task. And there's always someone who have like created those deadlines for you. And it's basically always a little easier thing to follow the deadline which someone has given to you, and think of that these has to be like realistic deadlines which I need to be able to succeed in. And you keep on working with those, and you have this feeling that this needs to be done before the end of the day or end of the week or so forth. And then you push it. You complete those very often, unless you're like the person who makes your deadlines has made a terrible mistake and created almost impossible deadlines. But that is a case of its own. But most likely, and most of the cases, people complete those given deadlines and get stuff done. But what happens when you have a personal project? There's no one saying you that you need to have stuff done within this given date. What happens is that it's easy to not do it, because there's no pressure that you have to get it done, and you can think that this is my own set deadline. This is supposed to be fun and so forth, and I don't feel like doing it right now. So maybe I'll do it next week or next month, or maybe I'll even skip it to next year or so forth. And what happens that you never get it done. You never get done the stuff which you plan for yourself, because you don't have the deadlines. So what I'm saying is that a good way to get stuff done, for example, we're talking about a personal game project, or maybe like a crusade to learn game development, and you have this passion that I really want to learn making games, or I want to complete this project or so forth. And but you don't get it done because you don't have any kind of a deadline, so you can skip it and never do it. So what you should do is that fake the situation that you have the deadlines. So how do you fake this kind of a situation? For me, it works really well that I actually set deadlines for a month, or maybe even a couple of months ahead, that I need to have some kind of stuff complete. For example, this podcast which you're listening right now, I had it on my calendar that it needs to be done today. I cannot skip it. Even though I would have something else to do, I can skip it. I have it on my calendar. I need to complete it before I can end the day. So that's why I'm doing this. So what you need to do is have those deadlines set for months or weeks ahead. You can start with a couple of weeks or so forth to make the deadlines that you have. You want something to be done, and when you go forward for a couple of days or weeks, you may end up forgetting that those deadlines have been set by you, and there's no one like saying that you need to complete this and stuff like that, but you have this feeling that that is a mark in my calendar, for example, and I need to get it done before that date, or during that day when the deadline arrives. Doesn't matter, but you just need to complete it before the day is passed. So yeah, it's a good habit to have these deadlines, but if you happen to create those like too much of a head and push it too much, what happens, you may lose the sight of seeing kind of the light at the end of the tunnel, and you keep losing your hope and motivation to do the stuff because it feels so like overwhelming. And this is like the moment when you realize that you have set unrealistic deadlines for yourself, and you need to reschedule the stuff, not to like make it like feel bad to do the stuff. Of course, sometimes it just feels bad, but you still need to do it. But if it comes down with having a lot of stress and stuff like that, you have most likely set too strict deadlines for yourself and your current like life situation and so forth. So you just need to reschedule. So by doing a like small amount of scheduling for, let's say, like a week or 2 weeks or a month in maximum, it's much easier to keep on going and push those deadlines because you can see the light at the end of the tunnel, that there's only 2 weeks remaining, then I'm done with this stuff which I have scheduled for myself and so forth. So it's easier to do the last remaining 2 weeks and then have a break, for example. But if you fail and do, let's say, half a year plan at first, it's easy to, after 2 weeks or a month, say that screw it, I don't want to do this. It's too much stress and too much of a pressure and stuff like that. But the more concrete you can be with your plans, that you actually have some kind of a task which needs to be done. Let's say in 2 weeks, the next weekend, I want to have a prototype of my game ready. And I don't know how to code, and I don't know how to make graphics, but in 2 weeks, I want to have a prototype of a game I have in my head. And there you have it. You just need to now push it for 2 weeks to learn to program and learn to make graphics of some sort. But the prototype which you will get within 2 weeks will be most likely not so nice, but you created it and you actually achieved your set deadlines which you set for yourself. And those are the moments which you should embrace, because when you actually succeed in doing something, it's not the best in the world, but it's for every case, it's a step ahead. And the next deadline which you will set is even better, and it will go even smoother than the last time. So there's my couple of things for deadlines, and hopefully this got some ideas for you. If it did, please leave a comment, and if you have you think differently or so forth, you can leave a comment as well. But subscribe to our YouTube channel and come to our Discord channel to keep on discussing of different game development topics. So thank you very much for listening, and catch you up next time.